Yeah, sure. Just excited. Day away from the game, and just enjoyed our time here in San Antonio. Just want to say thank you to the bowl officials in Valero Alamo Bowl and the people of San Antonio. City's been amazing, and I'm sure Dion would agree with me that we had a very enjoyable stay, and it gave us some great memories this week. And with that being said, we're excited for the games tomorrow, and so looking forward to it, and just have a just want to say thank you to everybody. Also want to recognize Colorado and their team, their fans, and also their coaching staff. Been have a great relationship with Coach Prime. Just have a lot of respect for what he's done with his team. I mean, here we are sitting in this position that no one predicted us to be in, and so we're in this game. We're looking forward to it. Everybody's playing. It's going to be an exciting time, and just really looking forward to the matchup. We're excited about our opportunity to play with these seniors that we have, and the guys are leaving the program. This is the last game, and just want to make it memorable. And when you look at what Colorado does and look at the talent and how well coached they are, I think one of the things that's most impressive is that they have talent. You can see it, but they have a high football IQ, which means that they're learning quite a bit from their coaching staff and they're learning from the experience of the game. So really excited to be here and looking forward to the game. And this means that we're one day away from it. So thank you very much.
Questions? Let's go with questions now. Raise your hand and my coach will come to you. Up middle, please.
This question is for both coaches. I'm curious what the highlights of your experience down here in San Antonio have been so far.
The parade last night was phenomenal, and seeing Miss Peggy embraced was awesome. But to seeing the kids floating down the river, that was awesome, and the things that being shared as well was phenomenal. But the city has been so gracious, and I take a walk every morning with some of my staff members, and the hospitality and the love and support. I mean, even from the homeless people has been phenomenal. That's when you know you got it going on in a good city. Like, I mean, the homeless people, like, hey, Coach Brian, way to go. Amen, God bless you. So it's been phenomenal here, and I'm enjoying myself immensely.
For both coaches, this is kind of a unique bowl game in that you guys are both in the same conference. Does this add a little bit extra, and does it kind of feel like a People's Champion Big 12 game?
I defer to my coach.
I was excited to play the game. I mean, during the when we were playing conference play, there was a lot of crossover games. So we saw a lot of Colorado film because we were playing their opponents, So when you start looking at that, you start realizing, man, this is a really gifted team, and that caught our attention. And when we knew that this could have been a possibility, I was really excited about the game more than anything. The motivation from our players when it was finalized, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of next level players on Colorado's team, and like we have a lot of guys that want to prove that they belong there too. And but you can't deny the fact that they have tons of talent. They have a Heisman Trophy winner and a lot of draft picks on that side. So what we saw with our eyes is definitely coming to fruition in the way that Coach Prime got his team ready. So we have to be at our best, and we're looking forward to that. And if you guys have been around me quite a bit, you know that that's what I want for our team, and this is a great motivation going into this game tomorrow.
This is again for both coaches, but Coach Sitake, you mentioned that neither team was expected to be here. Obviously predicted 13th and 11th, but can both of you talk about like what this bowl game could mean to your programs going forward? That maybe a springboard into 2025 and 2026 and beyond.
Well, we don't look for it as a springboard. I mean, it's a game that we want to win. We're not just making a cameo here just to show up. We don't do that. We have a valued opponent, a guy that's his team is well coached, disciplined, and structured, and get after it. On both sides of the ball, they got some tremendous players, and they're not going to make mistakes. We're going to have to beat them. They're not going to allow us. They're going to play the game of football like they've been taught to play. I'm excited, man. I'm truly excited. I love this man. in any facets, not just as a coach, but as a man. You know, we know people who knows people who knows people who has validated who he is, what he is, how he is when the cameras ain't on. And I love every bit of it. His shoe game is on point today as well. You know, he's clean. He's got the jacket. I had no idea, but it's not like I would have changed anyway. But he's looking really good, and he's won the dress up match today. He got me. I'm not happy about that.
I got one outfit, man. This is about it. So if we switch wardrobes right now, I'm pretty sure that I would get a lot more from it than you would. I could never make that work, you know. But you know, just really appreciate Dion being there, just being open and being so kind to me. And then when we first met, and you guys went around when we first met, it was a great interaction for me. I mean, I grew up watching him and cheering for
I ain't
him.
that old, man.
You know, I know he's just a little bit older than me, but I mean that he was making plays when he was young. That's what I'm trying to say.
That makes me feel
Yeah, but you know, and I grew up a Niners fan, so I liked him better when he's a Niners uniform than when he was wearing another one. But he played, you know, he played Atlanta with people that I knew, and with a coach that I had when I was at BYU, and Brian Mitchell, things like that. Just there's a lot of connections, and then when I got to meet him, so genuine and so kind to me, and just with his time and just with his knowledge, man. I think it was a lot of fun for me, just being able to meet somebody that had so much influence in the game, and then being just kind and gracious with his time, and it was such a great feeling for me when we met, and I feel like he's my guy. You know, we were able to talk about a bunch of stuff, especially with college football and how much is changing, and I'm able to lean on his intelligence and his advice, and we have a really good relationship, a good friendship, and I love him back. You know, we just can't love each other for about 3.5, 4 hours tomorrow, and away we go. But the respect, we have a lot of respect. You can tell from the teams. We've been here all week, and then there's a lot. We're trying to enjoy the festivities and all that. But getting close to game time, I think a lot of guys are getting ready for game mode, and it's going to be a lot of fun though. But there's tons of respect that we have for Colorado and what they've been able to accomplish, and really looking forward to this matchup more than anything.
Coach Brian,
There goes their voice. There
Yeah.
goes their voice.
I know that you're going to be focused on the game tomorrow, but I wonder, will there be a moment
Yes.
where you're going to embrace the fact that you're walking on the field for the final time with your two sons?
Yes. Don't forget Travis. Yeah. Don't forget Travis, and don't forget the multitude of seniors that we have. We love them all to life. But yes, that will be. I've been trying to shy away from that moment because I know the last home game. It was the last home game, but it wasn't the last game. But this is it. So it is. I got upset with Charlotte yesterday, and I told her we got 48 hours, son. 48 hours, and all this is over. So it's going to be something to behold. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. I know Travis is going to trigger me. I know it because he always does, and he's going to bring tears out my eyes. But I don't look forward to it, but I do, because that means they're going to another level, another chapter of life, and they're going to soar. And I'm thankful that I feel as though we've equipped them with all the tools necessary to be successful.
Coach Sitake, in the first year of the 16-team league, I was just wondering, since for those of us who don't talk to you a lot, your thoughts on how things transpired this year and how the Big 12 stacked up against the rest of the country.
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak for the games that we played in, but highly competitive, a lot of parity. The reason being, you look at the predictions and none of it came true. So the fact that you know, anybody has a shot in this conference, and then I think, you know, for a lot of the coaches, when you listen to them, we played 9 conference games. That's something that not all the conferences do, and so there's not a lot when you can try to compare to conferences. I don't know how else to do it. I'd recommend that we should just play like basketball does, like the preseason games, is match up our conference against another conference and just match them all up, and then we get to our conference games, and I think everybody could feel good about whatever the results would be. But that kind of like how basketball does it. So, but I do know that we've been independent for a while, so being in this conference is something that's super special. We enjoy it in all sports, not just with football, but we're enjoying it, having fun with it. We definitely have tons of respect for this conference and the teams in it, the coaches. I think Dion will tell you that you look at it's well coached teams everywhere, and it just keeps getting better and better, and it's an honor for me to be part of that.
For both coaches, but starting with Coach Brown, you guys have really leaned into the pageantry and tradition of playing in a bowl game at a time where maybe other places in college sports haven't leaned in as much. Why is it important to you to take this game so seriously?
Maybe because neither of us was supposed to be here. We're supposed to be at the crib right now, focused on recruiting, focused on improving our rosters. But nevertheless, we're here. Not only that, but nevertheless, we're a few plays away from playing, in another week or so. So we know what we have, and we're happy about it. And we're not going to take this for granted. This is a blessing, man. Like when you're on the outside of this stuff and you're looking in, you want to get there. You're like, dang. Then you get to a bowl and you're going to sit there like ignorant, like that. You don't want to play at something you thrive to do. You know how many people wish they could be in our situation? So we're going to take full advantage of it. All these kids are playing. All our kids are playing. We're going to play our toughest, our hardest. This is a game. This is not just a routine. This is a game that both of us want to win. So we're taking it serious because we were predicted not to be here by some of you wonderful folks.
Now, just to add on that, the pageantry of it all is a lot of fun, and I think we sit there and think that it's only the players and the team benefit from it, the coaches, but the fans do too. I got to meet Miss Peggy yesterday, and that was awesome. I mean, I've seen and heard about her, and then I got to give her a quick hug and talk to her for a quick minute, and that was super special. But the fact that we're forgetting the fans are a part of this too, and then we plan on seeing all our fans in the stadium tomorrow. So that they're enjoying all of it, and I love it, and I speak for Dion on this, but we love seeing our fans happy. So that's a big part of why we're at where we're at, and our players also. I can tell you this: watching Colorado, they love to play football, and so do we. So this is when it's all said and done, it's a game of football, and if nobody showed up and if there are no cameras there, we would still play because these guys love to play the game on both sides, and we're looking forward to it.
We would have at least one camera there.
They'll be on their side.
That's how we get down, coaches. I'm sorry, Coach. We want some cameras there. At least one. My son, he has to be there.
Speaking about your son, Coach, we spoke with him yesterday.
Which one?
We speaking with Shador yesterday. Al actually asked both coaches about this. He was saying that when it comes to facing against BYU, it's like a math problem that we have to calculate and figure out in an equation, and that's what he's looking forward to. And then when it comes with BYU's players, they were talking about how talented the roster is, and Heisman Trophy winner, as you mentioned. From your perspectives, and whoever would like to go first, what are you most looking forward to when it comes to facing each other?
Just the competitiveness, the competition, because they're not going nowhere. We're going to have to deal with these guys next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. They're not going anywhere, and this man is not going anywhere. And they have his attitude, they have his intellect, his intelligence, his desire, his want. His team embodies who he is as a man, and that is a daunting task. So our kids are going to have to play smart. They're going to have to be disciplined. So I'm glad Shador did divulge that information to you because it's on him. He's like, Dad, can we stop going to all this stuff so I can focus and lock in? I got to perform. So that's where he is mentally right now, but it's a task.
Well, you could see that. I think sometimes when people talk about great talent, they forget the fact that they have intelligence too. And so when great talent matched with great football IQ and intelligence and leadership qualities and love of the game, it's dangerous. And that's why, and you look at the leadership that they have, and I keep talking about it, but Dion's been manifesting this for a long time, guys. The success that he had, the Heisman Trophy winner, what he started at Colorado. And so I think a lot of people have to give him his credit and intelligence and his ability to kind of put it together and lead it. And so he talks about me. This team takes their personality from him too. So this is going to be a great game, and I think you're going to get the best out of both of us. And I don't know what the score's going to look like, but I hope it's entertaining, but not too entertaining in some levels. But I mean, we're old school BYU, man. We're the ones that started throwing the ball out there with Lavelle Edwards back in the day, and so we'll see what happens. I just know that I think you can't just look past the fact that these young men, especially on Colorado side, they're very talented, but they have intelligence too. They understand the game, and you can see it from the way Shadur was breaking it down yesterday. And that's we're just talking about a couple players. The entire team, they learn, they get better. We watched it. We watched all the film. We had nothing but time getting ready for this game, so we saw it from the beginning of the season to the end, and this team improved quite a bit week to week, and I think we've done the same. So it's going to be a great matchup.
Questions? For Coach Prime, obviously, you were saying how you're trying to maybe delay some of the emotion that will come with tomorrow's game. Obviously, this is a decades-long chapter that's coming to a close with you coaching your sons. And is that something you will reflect on after this game and kind of throughout the offseason as kind of look back on this, like I said, a decades-long period that you spent coaching your sons?
I've already thought about it because you got to understand. I mean, Jan is here. I think Kat, Zimmy, some of our homies are here with me that travel to this game here as well, and they've been coaching and they've been with me since youth. I mean, we started this thing, ironically, in Texas, in the hood, multitude of years ago, and it has gone and gone and gone. I mean, it's a tremendous calling that God placed in my life to be around these kids and raise these kids to such a level as this. And when you think about your steps being ordered, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that Rick gave me the opportunity because we would have had a Heisman Trophy winner. We would have had a guy that's talented to be in the first or second pick of the whole draft. There's several other guys definitely going to get drafted. It wouldn't have happened here if I wouldn't accepted that calling. So I'm thankful for the opportunities afforded to me. I'm thankful just to be here, period. But this has been a journey that you can't help but reflect on. I was just in high school a few years back. You know, coach has been doing this thing for a minute. I admire the heck out of it. His resilience and dedication and what he's built. Man, this is a blessing. So I don't take any moment for granted.
The question for both coaches, if you could change one thing about college football, I'm just curious what you would change for its conference schedule, recruiting levels.
It's a good one, Coach. You take that first. I'm going to ponder this thought.
Yeah, as long as we play the game of football, I don't care. I mean, they tell us what the rules are, and then we adapt. I think the key is to be proactive and think ahead, and stay with the times, and so I like old school principles myself, but I also don't want to be outdated. I want to be on the cusp of forward thinking. So whatever they say, whatever they pass, we just try to stay ahead of it. And as long as we play the game of football, I'm good.
I've had a minute to think. Well, Coach Grayson will answer the question. I think financial literacy classes should be mandatory, so these kids understand how to manage their money when they get their money. And I think it should be a pay scale. It should be structured. It can't be just Tom, Dick, and Harry gets this because he had a great year somewhere else. Then that throws off the chemistry and the structure of the whole team. It's just like one of you guys coming out here, some guys from outside come in here and they make more money than you, and they haven't even been doing the work that you've done. It's not fair. I think the NFL has handled it right, and we need to mimic the NFL when it comes to that because right now we're not pros, but we're semi-pro. And that's the way it's going. And if we don't get a hold of it, it's going to keep going left. And the teams that don't have the budgets, like us, it's going to be hard to sit up here in front of you and then make it to a playoff game because now it turns into pay-per-view. And we don't want that at this age and stage. It's supposed to be amateurism, and it's not. But you want them to get compensated correctly for their talents, but it has to be structured.
Coach Sitake, you mentioned Coach Edwards just a moment ago.
Mhm.
I'm wondering, sitting in your position and being at BYU, well, what does his legacy mean to you and what you've enjoyed in football?
Oh, everything. I mean, I'm here because of Lavelle Edwards and because of his coaching staff, and so they're great examples to me as when I was a player for them, and I like the way they did things that I chose to become a coach myself. And I mean, I'm a fullback that was in an air raid type of system, so and fullbacks are a rare breed anyway. So that let alone one that's in a system that throws the ball quite a bit. But the influence that I had from him and that myself and other people. I mean, I'm not the only one. There's a lot of guys that are that come from Lavelle Edwards' coaching tree. Andy Reid, who's doing a great job in the NFL and be able to adjust and adapt with whatever comes his way. And Steve Sarkisian is another one. So there's quite a few out there. Kyle Whittingham, there's a lot that have been around him, and you know we know Mike Leach. When I was playing, he was at BYU practices quite a bit in spring ball. So Lavelle Edwards is an amazing man. I'm so close to his family. I'm trying to do it like he did, and trying to make him proud, and you know just trying to do it to basically. I wish there was anything. There's something original about me. This is a lot of what I'm doing is what he did for me, and I'm trying to establish it in this time.
Final couple questions. For Coach Sitake, Coach Prime mentioned how emotional tomorrow's going to be to see his sons as well as Travis Hunter to say goodbye to them after this game. For you and seeing this incredible group of seniors, what's tomorrow going to be like for you personally and emotionally?
Yeah, just grateful for the seniors, and they've been, you know, the last 5 years. This is the third time they've won double-digit wins. You know, so they've done a lot for our program, ushered us into the Big 12 from independence. You know, so we've seen them do some historical things. I love them. You know, I love this team, and you know that it's interesting because we are fathers as coaches. We are fathers, and we are also fathers of this team. And so the relationships, all that is it's sad that it's coming to an end, you know. But that's why we want to perform our best and then see what happens. Regardless of the result, I know that it's going to be a sad day anyways. We're going to have to say goodbye to some of these guys, and I know there's a lot of talent and draft picks on Colorado side. We got some too, you know. So I think these guys. It's going to be interesting. I talked to some of the guys yesterday. Hey, you're going to be teammates with a lot of these guys that we're playing against at the next level, you know. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think this is going to be one of those games that I think is going to be just. I mean, there's already a lot of tension involved with it for obvious reasons, you know, and the talent that we've seen. I mean, just personalities, but it's really, really good for college football. And what Dion has been able to do is very impressive. And I'm just happy to be part of it, man. But overall, it's going to be hard to say goodbye to these guys no matter what the result is. Then we've got to move on. But for me and Coach Prime, we just want to live in the moment, you know, and enjoy it as much as we can.
Final two questions. Back to front. Both of you. Big 12 matchup. We both have ties to Kyle Whittingham and have been complimentary of him. Whether there's a passing of the torch that's about to happen here or not, can you just speak to the Big 12 aspect and the relationship that you have with a stalwart in this conference?
First of all, I don't want that torch. That torch is unbelievable. It's heavy. I mean, the consistency that he's brought for years and years and years is unbelievable. That thing is too heavy for me to carry. He is phenomenal. I look up to him. I look out for him. I pray for him. He is awesome, exemplified. So, like, when you deal with his team, you know you've got to bring it. I mean, you talk about personality, tough, rugged, physical, aggressive. That's who you playing against. You playing against the coach, you know. So hats off, utmost respect, loving of life. Been nothing but kind to me every time I've been in his presence, and I respect the heck out of that, and I respect the heck out of him. He's exceeded expectations in meeting him than before I met him.
Well, you know my connection to him. I worked for him for a decade, and so you know we've been able to. We have a great friendship. He's a mentor of mine. And so, but when you say passing the torch, who's held the torch in this conference? I mean, it's changed quite a bit. The parity is unbelievable. So I don't know if you can really feel comfortable holding the torch. You know, so everyone's that's a compliment to the rest of the teams in the conference. Is that there's not like there's a sustainable number one the entire time. It's rotated quite a bit, and we just want to make sure that we're in the mix. You know, so that's. And we're going to be in the mix if we can keep getting better every week and we keep improving our program. We just get back to the basics, and that's what we're going to focus on. But I wouldn't be sitting here, and Coach Prime wouldn't be sitting here if it didn't take a lot of other people that worked hard for us to get here. And one thing that I think we're both good at is allowing the outside influences and those that helped us get to where we want to be, highlight them, but also show them gratitude and becoming the best coaches and mentors that we can ourselves.
Final question up front.
This for Coach Prime, and you mentioned last week when we talked to you that the high schoolers coming in, gave your team kind of a jolt last week. And I'm just curious for those players particularly, especially the quarterbacks, Juju and Caden, what value have they gotten from being around your team? Those quarterbacks around you.
Tremendous. Seeing, first of all, how two operates in practice and how he focuses as the game approaches, as well as how we move at practice and the expectation, intensity, and the passion for the purpose in practice and how defined we are and the speed and how the competition level is. That was vital on them. And let me digress a bit to go back to, it's not just about my kids in this last moment. When I'm thinking about Shane Coates and Chidozie, Travis J, Gant, and some of these guys on defense that we've all had moments in my office or on the field that could bring you to tears if you really knew those moments. And Cam Sylvan, who's been playing for me since he was a sophomore and during high school. I mean, and then the offensive side, all the darn receivers, including LaJonte, that earned his number one because he brought his grades up. Jimmy Horn, who was just in the prison with he and his father just a couple of weeks ago, like, is so Will Shepherd is so many of these guys that you share different moments with. It's unbelievable, you know. Justin, I mean, Lyman. It's so many things that you reflect on, and Coach has these moments as well with his team and his seniors that it's unfortunate that they're moving on, but you pray that you poured into them enough that when they move on, they move up. They're not just passing by; they move on and move up. And you bless them with knowledge and support and love and compassion in those moments. And the most vital moments aren't even about the field. It's about what transpires in life that you were able to be there for them. So those are the things that I passionately adore with many of our seniors that I can't wait to see them soar. But it's going to be tough on both sides. His guys. We're about to get on a roller coaster the other day, and I was scared to death. I don't do roller coaster stuff, but I'm trying to be a good father to these jokers. And Travis and talked me into get on this darn roller coaster, and his guys were in line as well. And I told a couple of you big boys, I said, y'all come on, man, we family. You know why I did that? Because of the love I have for this man and the support and the compassion that he's exuded to me, that his kids are family. So anytime I saw them at the park, I embraced them and showed them love. And I think they enjoyed skipping the line going up to the front as well.
They try to follow you around a little bit more, you know.
Thank you, coaches. Can we close with a picture of you standing behind your
Yes,
cameras?
you can.